Now, I'll be honest, when we first started producing our media products, I didn't really know anything about Adobe Premiere Pro, but fortunately, I sort of started to learn about it in its most basic form through the construction of our preliminary task. I learned how to merge two clips together. For example, in that task, I had a character walk through the door, and I used a man-on action shot as he enters the room. As I came to start constructing my opening sequence, I was a lot more familiar with the software, mostly because of that preliminary task. I was comfortable with being able to sort of manipulate the length of shots. This came in useful when I put the screenshots of my different credits into my opening sequence. I could have them all be the same length. I think I went for the length of a second 0.2. It was really good to have them exactly the same length, because now I could have it could be consistent through my whole opening sequence. There was continuity through it all now. I also became confident with the color effects of Premiere Pro. This obviously came very useful because we want to produce an opening sequence which was in black and white. Had I been not confident with using the video effects and the color effects of Premiere Pro, I wouldn't have been able to achieve the general look we were going for when we first set out to make our opening sequence. I became confident with using some of the editing techniques in Premiere Pro. In our final sequence, you'll see the main villain. He's sort of he's grazing the radiator with a knife, and we reverse the shot using our editing techniques. And there was also another example where there's the blonde-haired character in the toilet coughing up blood, and we use multiple zooms in that point, which was another editing technique we used. And this editing technique just worked because it could sort of intensify the gore of that scene. Now, stepping away from Premiere Pro, another online resource which became very confident was imdb.com. For example, film distribution assignment, I researched lots of different film distribution companies which tended to distribute psychological horror films. In fact, I did a Prezi. I used the software Prezi to present a PowerPoint which showed 6 different distribution companies. IMDb did actually help me to decide who would distribute our film, because when I was doing this task, I researched CineClick Asia, who produced the film A Tale of Two Sisters, and I could see from that they had a much smaller marketing budget than the other big sort of major film distribution companies like Disney or Warner Brothers. So I was able to sort of identify that CineClick Asia would be suitable for our film, just because their smaller budget means that they more support up-and-coming directors and up-and-coming actors, because they do not have the finance, much like us, to attract, with their marketing budget, A-list actors and up-and-coming directors. Therefore, we just felt that out of all the different distribution companies, the situation we were in we felt that CineClick Asia could best help us with the situation we're in the sense that we had a much smaller marketing budget to account.